Hey guys, how we doing? I'm just making sure that we are all the way live. How are you doing? Come on in here. Come on in here. So I'm just checking my group to make sure that you can hear me clearly. When you hear me, go ahead and give me a one in the chat. Give me a one in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me. And I'm also testing it on my end to make sure you can hear. Make sure that I can. Okay, perfect. If you are joining me on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can know when I come on every Tuesday. I bring you a live show with our faith, favor, and finance, a live show. And so make sure you hit the bell so you can be notified when I come on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are joining me in my group, Faith, Favor, and Finance, I'm excited. Welcome to the Faith, Favor, and Finance Show, where I teach you how to break your limited beliefs when it comes to your finances so you can build financial confidence. Come on in here. I'm going to give Facebook a few minutes to let everyone know, and YouTube, of course, that I'm on and I'm live and I'm ready to go, because we're going to be talking about the five method I use to skyrocket my business. And I love to show unconventional method. It's not just a method we can Google it and find it. My methods are always pretty much different from everyone else's method that they're using, but the method is always natural and authentic, and just be using consistently will definitely generate revenue in your business and attract the resources you may need to live an abundance and prosperous life. So as you come in, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. We want to be able to celebrate with you. And just in case somebody's looking for you, they know where to find you. So as I said, it's your girl, Sherri Somers, your revenue master life coach. So let me dive deep into this as you come in and as you tune in. Make sure you in the inbox, you tell us who you are and what you do. So when I talk about the methods to skyrocket your business, we know that operating a business has several different angles. Operating a business, like there are plenty of times when I hear people may say, okay, I am a good baker. I love to bake cookies. Cookies are really good. I'm good. Everybody said my cookie, and when I bake my pie, whatever it may be, is wonderful, right? So baking and making sure the actual product is wonderful and delicious and keep people coming back, that's great. But that's another one aspect of the business. There's all the marketing aspect of the business. There's all the sales aspect of the business. There's all the taxes, and there's all the parts of your business that also need to be run simultaneously. So just being good at one area of business will not just cut it. So understanding that there's different parts of your business that you need to understand, and you can't be jack of all trades, right? You're only one person. So it's sometimes challenging for you to be able to try to operate all those businesses by yourself. So therefore, one of the things that I want to focus on is the 5 method I use to skyrocket my business. And one of the method that I quickly use in skyrocketing my business was making sure that I picked the 3, say with me, 3 areas that I was going to be focused on. So even though there's 10,000 different areas in a business to make a business successful, I chose the area that I was good at, right? So I chose the area that I was good at and said, this is my area that I will focus on. Even if I didn't have finances to outsource the rest, I just focused on my area that I was a genius in. So pick 3 areas or less that you say you want to focus on, and then that will be your areas that you are going to dominate in. So what I mean by that, you may say, all right, I am good at marketing, so I'm going to go ahead and focus in my business on how to market my business. I'm good at sales, so I'm going to focus on that area in my business, right? I'm good at posting, whatever it may be, but pick 3 or less. Like if you're not a web designer, then you shouldn't be designing your web. You should be designing your website. However, if you're saying, Sherri, I really don't have anyone design my website right now, I truly believe that just having a Facebook page when you first just starting out is good enough, right? But is remembering and understanding that you want to operate only in your area of genius. So if I'm not a web designer and I'm not good at web, which I'm not I'm not at all, right? I'm either not going to do that right now. I'm going to focus only on the area that's going to bring me joy. Because when you're doing something that you love, that's bringing you joy, and you know how well to do it, it's going to make you want to consistently do it. So the first thing first is making sure that you pick 3 or less areas in your business that you're going to focus on. And the rest that you cannot focus on, you either leave it, and yes, I said leave it, or outsource someone who are expert in their field to be able to do that area for you, right? Because when it comes to your website, you're always going to evolve. Your conversation, who you serve, your target market is going to change, which means your website is always being updated, right? And that's not my area of genius. So I will reach out to the person. But if you're saying to me, Sherri, right now, I'm in a space where I have the money or know how to do the website. Well, let's go here. Can you do 1, a free website, or 2, use your Facebook page as your website for now? There's always way where you can work what's in your hands. So we're talking, if you're just joining me, we're talking about the 5 method I use to skyrocket my business. And number 1 was picking 3 areas in my business that I can dominate. In that area, in my genius, right? That's it. And really focus on that area. So now when I pick those 3 areas, it's going to lead me to my number 2. And my number 2 is I created a consistent habit of working on those areas that I said I was going to do, right? So if I said, okay, I'm going to make sure that my business is always marketing online, that means I need to get in the habits of making sure my post is ready to be marketed online, right? So whatever my area is, if I say I'm going to go live on Tuesday, here I am every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go live on Tuesday inside of my group and on my Facebook page. When you truly decide what is your area that you want to be able to focus on, you got to create success habits and getting in the habits of making sure every time consistently people can depend on you and know that you're going to show up in the area that you say you're going to show up with. There's a promise that you made, right? It's a promise that you made to yourself and to your business that you are going to show up and do your thing in that area. So number 1 was picking 3 areas of your business that you know beyond a shadow of doubt you love doing it. It brings you joy. That's what you love doing, right? Inside of my group, I post something saying, what do you do blank that just get you alive? And most of you guys talk about teaching, training, when you're singing or praising. So whatever that area is that bring you joy, why is that? Because if it brings you joy, you're going to do it more often. You're going to enjoy doing it. So focus on those 3 areas in your business, and the rest that it does not bring you joy, outsource it. Or if you don't want to outsource it, leave it then until you master those other areas. Because I truly believe that wherever your area of genius is, your gift will make room for you. Your gift will definitely make room for you. Listen, I want to know who you are and what you do. So go ahead and make sure you drop it in the comments so I can reach out to you. So we're talking about the 5 methodology that I use to skyrocket my business. And I also, number 2, we're talking about developing success habits. Y'all, I can't preach this enough. I can't preach this enough. You hear me? Success habit is so important, right? If you ask me how your days run, I can tell you how successful you're going to be. If you show me your calendar, I've said it, I've preached it, I've yelled it, I've echoed it, your calendar. And I don't mean just writing down anything on your calendar. That's not what I mean. It's making an intentional decision to making sure that you're consistently getting yourself out there. So when you put yourself out there, right, out there as in not just online, it may be out there by just at a supermarket. There's only 3 things you need to do when it comes to marketing your business. When you meet people, tell them who you are, tell them what you do, tell them how you can solve their problem. That's it. So when we're talking about creating that 3 areas that you love and focus on that area, the area that brings you joy. And then we talk about number 2 is that success habits. So when you find that 3 area, now you're going to say, okay, I'm very successful in that area. So I'm going to develop habits and routine around that, right? So if I said I am going to go live, I know, and my team knows, that at Live, we have our live prepared for you. We have what we're going to talk about. This is not just something I just came on here. We've done this way like Sunday and getting it ready and getting the graphics and image and stuff ready. So this is not a fly-by-night live. We have planned it. We have prepared it for you so we can bring you rich content so you can actually grow your business. And these are proven strategies that I have used. So so that's what I mean about creating habits. So your team knows, okay, we're going to go live on Tuesday. What are we going to talk about? What is a graphic? What is information? So these things are not just plain, like we just wake up and we do it, because you can tell when you do that. So when we talk about success habit, number two was success habit. What is a routine that you're going to develop around the parts in your business that you enjoy doing? Because I do believe that you do things that bring you great joy. And then when you do that, when you're in your area of genius that bring you alive, you are able to dominate in that area. So what is the area for you right now in your business that you just love doing? Go ahead and in the comments right now and tell me, what is the area in your business that you just love doing? They just bring you joy when you do it. You could do it without even getting paid. You just love doing that area. You just do it naturally. It just comes easy to you. What is that thing? What is that genius in your business? So go ahead and drop it right now in the comments. Taylor, I see you. Thank you for subscribing for me. All right. So now that you got your area, now that you got your success habits that you're going to develop consistently, the number 3, which is, what is that, Sherri? Number 3 is be patient. So after you create your area of genius, and 2, after you develop success habits around that area, number 3 is that you are going to be patient. Because what happened when we don't see the results fast enough, we tend to want to give up on ourselves. We tend to ready to throw in the towel. Hold on. I see somebody say wigs. Who is that, honey? God love me some wigs. Who's that wigs? Okay. When we tend to see that area and develop that area, we want to be able to say, oh my God, I'm not getting the clients I thought I was going to get. I'm not getting the things I'm going to do. And then we're ready to quit. No, baby, we can't quit on this. We got to be able to want to see the results. So being patient and waiting for your results to compound, right? So if on Tuesdays when I show up and nobody show up to my live, am I going to say stop? Nobody's not showing up? No, I'm going to keep going, baby, whether you here or not, because I was born to do this. So when I am passionate and I'm working in my purpose, you're going to keep going regardless of the results that you're seeing. You're going to tweak. You're going to invest if you need to. You're going to find out what's working or what's not working. But as long as you're operating in your genius and in your purpose, you're going to want to keep going. So to keep going means being patient with the process. Number 3, I'm still on number 3, being patient with the process. So number 1 is pick your area of genius. Number 2, develop success habits around your area of genius. And number 3 is to be patient with the process. Right? So be patient with the process. And that's in anything in business. There's so many times I see people throw out things that when they throw things out there, they think it's just going to land and a whole bunch of people are going to come to your events, or a whole bunch of people are going to buy your products. A whole bunch of people are going to come to your financial coaching space. That's not how it works at all. People are still learning if they're going to like, know, and trust you. And that's what I love about this market, because if the people who stay around and willing to willing to do the work, they're the one that usually wins. Perseverance is what separates the woman from the girl or the man from the boys, right? So I want to challenge you that when you go to step 1 and say, this is the area I'm going to work on in my business, and I'm going to develop a success routine around that area, I'm also going to develop my faith so I can be patient with the process. Number 3, be patient with the process. What are some things right now that you believe that you need to be patient with when it comes to your business? What are some things right now? Go ahead and drop it down where you're not really seeing the results of what you want to see. And I'm just getting my phone so I can be able to also see your name off your comments as well, because it's not showing me the name when I'm in StreamYard. So what are some things in your area that you want to say, okay, I need to be patient with the process? What are some things right now that you need to say, okay, I'm not patient enough as what I need to be when it comes to your business? Now, when we talk about being patient with the process, is understand that everything you need is not going to show up at once. There are times, I cannot recall a thing on Instagram where the guy was digging for gold and he was right there to get the gold, and he stopped digging and he sold the land. And when he sold the land, other people went behind him and dig the same place where he digged, and they were able to get that same gold that he'd been digging for years. He'd been digging for years because he wasn't patient with the process. So he got irritated and frustrated, and he sold his land. And when he sold his land, he gave it to the same people, saw that he was digging, went back to the same land, and they harvest that land. So it's so important, and it's vital that you be patient with the process. Right? Be patient with the process. There are times when I remember when I first going live in my business, when I had no money for marketing, I was going live in my business consistently. There was nobody on. There was not one people on, two people on. And I was still going. I was still going to show up whether people was there or not. Why? Because I knew I had some financial information that I need to get out to the community. And as I get consistent in doing it, and as I get consistent, what happened is when you're patient with a process, something's magical starts happening. There's a magical thing that start happening when you start mastering your skills. Who need to hear this today? You start mastering your skills. And that's why my target audience has became financial coaching, because I was mastering that in that area. So one of the things that when we are ready to fall off, or when we're ready to say goodbye, and when we're ready to hang in the towel, if that you want to throw in the towel, but the people who stick around, they start getting better and better and better. I tell people all the time who are afraid to go live and talk about their business, I say to them all the time, if you just be patient with the process and keep doing it, and you do it scared, do it scared, what will happen? You get less scared and less scared, and more confident and more confident and more confident. So when you are being patient with the process and giving your time to understand the process, then you start mastering your abilities. You remember I said number one is you're only learning 3 areas. You're only learning 3 areas in your business and developing a habit of those areas. And then number 3, you're doing those things so much that it becomes consistent, that you know it inside and out, day in and day out. So when you get to the point when you say, listen, I need to know this area before. When we talk about scaling, I don't believe in scaling your business yet till you have a number figure that you've reached. And then even then, there's a mastering that has to happen. And when you're able to master that skill, when you're able to create that faith, that be patient with the process, right, to see the results. So why people call me about how to do live videos? Because I did live videos for almost a whole year consistently. Why people call me about finances? Because I spoke about finances completely, not just having a life insurance business or being a real estate investor, but I was always giving free nuggets about how to build your wealth portfolio. And then financial coaches would say to me, hey, listen, I am really good in financial coaching, but I don't have the marketing ability. How can you help me? And that's how my target market became financial coaches. But at any time, if I had give up on my purpose, if I had give up on my craft, I wouldn't be here today. So when everybody else is trying to scale their business, this is when you tap into your area of genius and master it. Because when you decide to master that area of genius, what happened is people start showing up and saying, how do you do it? How did you do it? How did you get there? Right? I tell people all the time, it's not about how well your marketing is, it's how you're working on yourself. So when you decide to work on yourself, your success, your money, your marketing, your monetization, all of that lies within. It's not about how well your funnel runs. It's not about how well, I just started doing some ads for the first time, and I'm talking to my ads agency, and she says, this is how much money in ads you have to put in. And I was like, and she said to me, I don't know how you survive a 6-figure business without running ads for so long. Like, I was like, girl, I don't know, because I wouldn't have invested this amount. I would not have invested this amount. The only way organically for you to stay in the game and be able to pay your light bill, pay your water bill, pay your bills, take your kids to school, pay the things that you need to pay to develop the lifestyle you have to develop is to create a success habit. There's no way around that. No coach can give you that. It's to develop a success habit. Now, one of the great things as being a revenue life coach is the fact that I'm able to touch into that subconscious mind that when you want to give up or when you want to shift, I'm like, okay, hold on, you haven't tried this yet. Or hold on, you need to tweak this. So they're able to look from the outside in and say, hold on, you need to move this around. But when you're talking about organic marketing, because most of us don't have the money for our business, you're going to have to develop a habit that will consistently grow and compound. And when it start growing and compounding, that means if you're not going to show up in this live on Tuesday, baby girl, Sherri was going to be here, right? Because that's what we do. We do what we do. We show up. So it's one of those, because I've developed that habit. My entire team, we planned this on Sunday. On Sunday, my assistant will reach out to me and say, hey, what is your thing for Tuesday? So it's not just, we just getting on. We're intentional. And we game and this methodology of growing my business has took my business from 12K, 85K to 10K and disc K checks and different things I never thought organic. This is my first year running ads. This year, my entire business. Now we did that, what you call it, the $5 boost the post, but we've never intentionally run ads. My entire 6-figure business has dealt with organic marketing, right? Now, anybody can do organic marketing, but it takes a person with a great mindset that says, I'm going to keep going, even though I don't see the numbers. I'm going to keep going, even though no one is showing up on my live. I'm going to keep going, even though I don't have anyone supporting me. I'm going to keep going. So in this, listen, I'm giving you the real deal, not just how you do this and this happened, because even when you're posting, the energy of how you post your product online also give you a return. My clients know you don't share nothing. You don't do no sharing. Right? If you're going to take something to another post from your page to your personal page, you're going to go ahead and complete it. Don't share it. Because I call that the lazy post. And we don't lose lazy, because if you do lazy is going to what you get back. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create 3 areas in our business that we're successful in. From that area, we're going to develop a success habits around those 3 areas that we're going to that are area of genius. And from that, we're going to have the faith to remain consistent. We're going to have faith to remain consistent, that through the process, we're going to be patient and wait for our results to compound. Be patient with the process and develop that faith. What happened is there's something called your faith muscles. And this is so important. It's a VIP tip, right? There's a faith muscles that you develop in your mind. It's also called a mind muscles. And I think you guys have seen my post when I post about this. I am in this weight loss group that we're doing because I have some photo shoot. My birthday's coming up. And honey, I want to look good. I want to get that quarantine weight off of me. But now I added health inside of my consistent daily routine. So adding health in a consistent daily routine, the first time me waking up to go work out is always going to be a challenge because it's something new. So now I'm aware, because I'll always walk around in awareness. Now I'm aware, right, that this is my subconscious mind is just being new. And as soon as I get used to it, I will develop it. Here's what happened with your number 4, right? Your faith muscles. Here's what I mean by your faith muscles. When you start developing your faith muscles through that success habit, stay with me, your faith muscles will start doing things even when you don't want to do it. Your faith muscles, you will find yourself at that given time, whether you want to or not, doing it. And I have said this before in my life. When I used to be a cop, the first thing they taught us, or taught me, when we're talking about shooting a gun, excuse me, when we're talking about shooting a gun, I had to keep getting my gun out my holster 3-4 times without looking at the holster. So I had to keep pulling my gun out, put it back in, pulling my gun out, put it back in, pulling my gun out, put it back in, putting my gun out, put it back in, pulling my gun out, put it on target, pulling my gun out, put it on target, and it was driving me nuts. It was driving me nuts because at the time I didn't know. But what they were doing in police academy was conditioning my mind to do it on pull without having to look. Should somebody like myself, a woman in that area, in that line of duty, have to do that? I don't have to look down to pull it out. Right? So they were developing my mind muscles to get used to be able to do that. It's the same methodology when it comes to your business. When you create a success habit, your mind will start doing things when it comes either marketing your business or selling your business or reaching out to somebody. When you create that success habit, the days when you don't want to do it, the days when you don't want to get up, that mind muscle will overtake your body and you will find yourself doing it, and you know how you do it. I sent my assistant a message today, or I'm sorry, my Facebook ads agent a message today, and she said, okay, see you at 9. And I'm like, I sent her a message? I sent her a message? I didn't even know that I had sent her a message, right? Because my subconscious mind take over. This is the time I usually send her the message. This is the time we usually have our meeting. You start moving like a robot because you're so used to doing it. So, but the first thing first is I don't know who this is for. Tell me if this is, give me a 3 in the chat if this is making sense to you, a 3 in the chat. So if you're saying to me that, Sherri, I'm not seeing success, I'm going to tell you that it's in your routine. Your success is in your routine. Routine brings riches. So if you develop a success habit on a daily basis, to say, come hell or high water, I'm going to stick with this success habit. What's going to happen is the days you don't want to push, your mindset now is I wake up at 4 o'clock now without any alarm clock because my mind has been conditioned. My muscle memory, that's what we call that, muscle memory. Someone put that in the chat for me. Muscle memory is now developed to do the work even when I don't want to. See, there's some lot of muscle memory we have that is not pleasing us. We have some negative habits or bad habits that we've developed over time that is not pleasing or conducive to our business. So we got to unchange those. We got to rechange and reprogram and train those. So when you develop your muscle memory, and through faith, that's how you also do that, right? By your belief system and what you believe. And so when you have your faith, I believe that I can, I believe that abundance, I'm worthy of abundance. Then you do the work to match it, and you consistently do the work. The muscle memory and the faith start working together as a unit, and it overtakes the body. It overtakes the body. I hope y'all get this. I hope y'all get this. So then what happened? You're posting to social media around this time. You're doing this on this time, and you're still doing it. You're still doing it. You're still doing it. Still doing it. Man, at the time, I'm going to be honest with you. At the time when I started my career, I didn't even know that I was doing it. I didn't even know. I just know I was broke, and I needed to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. That's all I knew. But then it got to the point that it became such a habit of doing it. And as I do it, my videos compound, and people would say, hey, I just saw your video. Hey, I just saw you live. Hey, I just saw you on YouTube. Hey, I just saw you. And then, of course, the people, my videos land to the right people, and it start attracting them back to me 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But it took muscle memory for me to get there. Go back 1. Now then it take faith for me to develop that muscle memory for me to even have that. But if I do it 1 time and it's not going to work, you're not going to see it. If I do it 2 times, you're not going to see it. So the reason why we fail or stop is because we have not developed our muscle memory to carry on when our body doesn't want to. Because when your muscles is developed, just like I was telling you on when I was in law enforcement, that's the biggest thing. Okay, you need to do this. Then even got to the point where I would pull my gun and I would have to get on target and I would have to put a bullet on top of the gun, an empty shell, disclaimer, empty shell. And then I would have to keep shooting back and forth with an empty gun just to get my muscles ready, right? Military do it all the time. Military do it all the time. This is how it's a routine. I said to a gentleman, I said, how do you get up 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning running all the time? He says, I'm a runner. My muscles is developed to run. I was like, wow, that is powerful. So I'm picking 3 areas in my business that I'm gonna work on. Then when I pick those areas in my business, I'm gonna make sure, thank you guys for doing that for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Muscle memory, that is 100%. So after I pick that area in my business that I want to work on, I'm going to make sure that I develop success habits around that area. So I'm going to do it all the time, not worrying about the results. When my clients first work with me, the first thing they had to do was going live consistently for 30 days. 30 days. That was the first thing, is going live, because if you have the cure of cancer, nobody know you had a cure of cancer. How in the world you're going to be selling your solution or your cure if nobody know who you are? So because videos doesn't die, videos will go on forever and ever and ever. So if we can develop a video that would compound and people get to see you, so that was our first marketing strategy. Way before I even started adding mindset to my business, that was the first way. Right. And then as you do that, you're also developing muscle memory. So you're getting more comfortable. You get more comfortable. So your subconscious mind, and when you've developed that success habit, after you do that, you trust the process. You be patient with the process. And when you be patient with the process, you're now developing a muscle memory to do things on command without literally your body. You're like, how did I wake up? How did I get all these? I want to work out today. My body's so now used to getting up and get my workout clothes on. You working out. You're like, when did this happen? I did it so fast. When did it, like a zombie. And the military has been using this same muscle memory technique for so long. We do that in school. We did that in memorization, all of that. Because I used to work out at 8 o'clock. So every time I look at the clock, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm not working out. Oh, I already did it. So what you want to do in order to skyrocket your business, the methodology of skyrocketing your business is to, 1, create the 3 areas that you're going to be honest with yourself and say, these are the areas that I'm going to focus with. 2, you're going to develop a success habits around those areas. 3, you're going to have faith to trust the process to see the results of those 3 areas, right? And then when you do that, number 4, you're going to have your mind conditioned to develop a muscle memory. Now, what about number 5? Number 5 is always the same thing every time. You're going to rinse and repeat the process. Because if you are a thought leader, which all you guys are who are under the sound of my voice, we talk to nothing but thought leaders, baby. With all my thought leaders, what happened when you master something? What do? You want to learn more of it. So now when you rinse and repeat the process, you now may add something else. Instead of doing 3 things, you may do 4 things. Or instead of doing 4 things, you may outsource one of your 3 things, and so on and so forth. But you master it so much to where you feel comfortable adding another area that you can work on yourself. But as a business has so many moving parts, and for you to skyrocket your business, you really have to be honest with yourself and say, these are the areas I'm going to work on. I'm going to create a success habit with those areas. And then I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to have faith to trust the process. And when I trust that process, I'm going to develop a muscle memory. So everything you're doing, when you look at people who are successful, when you look at billionaires, millionaires, I've had opportunity with Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, when I study all of them, Lisa Nichols, all of them, they all have a routine. They all have a routine. I don't know anyone. If I talk to Serena Williams, she has a morning routine. Beyonce have a morning routine. All these people have one thing in common. Steve Harvey has a routine of how they run their day. And that routine was developed through success habits. So then as they do the routine, they create that muscle memory. And that's what brings success. So their day's not running them, they're running the day. So every hour is accountable for. Now, does that mean things are not going to happen? No, doesn't mean things are not going to happen. But your calendar and your routine is your center to get you back into your success habit. So there are things that throw you off. That's fine. But do understand that you can come back to your success habit. I love this, guys. Muscle memory and faith. Yes, it is muscle memory and faith. Stella say it takes faith to develop your muscle memory. Yes, it does, because you have to believe in yourself first that you're capable of doing it. You have to believe, and how you believe in yourself more is the more you read about what you're talking about, the more you study about what you're talking about. It builds your education, builds your confidence. Woo! If this is good, go ahead and give me a high five, baby, in the chat. I'm going to end there. Education builds your confidence. The more educated you are in your area, the more confident you are to speak in your area. She said, repeat the process and learn it. More of it. Yes. So if you didn't take anything from me today, what I want you to ask you one thing. You are going to take away one nugget, one gem. You're going to take away from today's live faith, favor, finance. What is that one thing you're going to develop? Because I'm not about just information. I'm about application. So what is the one thing? Drop in the comments right now that you're going to work on within those 5 things that we mentioned, that you're going to work on in your business to skyrocket your business. What is that one thing? Go ahead and drop it in the comments right now. Go ahead and drop in the comments. She said, this is good. This is good. Thank you. Thank you. Skina said, this is good. Stella said, your success is in your routine. Routine brings riches. Yes. Muscle memory helps you to do work when you don't want to. That is so true. That is so true. When you don't want to. Education builds confidence. So that's what you're going to take with you. Yes. Education builds confidence. I'm just going back up to the comments. Jacinthia said, okay. Hey, Jacinthia, how you doing, gorgeous? Naima, okay. Naima, how you doing? She said, fire. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. She said, I will begin to show up daily. And here's the thing about that. I want to really talk about that for a second. Sakina says she will begin to show up daily. Let me say this. It is good to show up daily, just making sure. So it's not just about, you can do, it's about quality, not quantity. It's about quantity, not quality. So yeah, back up. You got what I'm saying. You don't have to show up a lot to make an impact. So consistently we mistake consistently with being like we have to be there all the time. No, consistently means when you do show up, you're going to deliver. And they can expect you. So if you say, I send my clients all the time, all right, you're going to go live 3 times a week. Okay, when is that 3 times? Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. No. You got to be on the calendar, ready to go. So you don't have to, it's not about doing it every time, but it's when you do it, it's planned out, it's intentional, and you're ready. Like every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find me on YouTube, or you can find me right here in Faith, Favor, and Finance every Tuesday. So it's more about quality. Not quantity, not how many times you do it, but more about quality of how you do the thing. So Stella says she'll take away, I will be patient with the process and keep at it with no matter what. Naima says education builds confidence. Yes, it does. Develop my habits. Very good. And the last one, I will begin to show up there daily. I love it. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me and you need my help with anything, just go ahead. If this is something where you say, okay, Sherri, I am struggling in this area and I truly need your help. Because here's the other thing too. It sometimes takes an accountability partner for you to develop this. So if you're saying, Sherri, this is an area I'm struggling with and I cannot do it on my own, go ahead and comment me faith in the chat, FAITS. Faith in a chat, and I will reach out to you privately in my DM, in your DM, and we can talk outside of the group so we can see what your idea is or what you're struggling, so we can get you to overcome those challenges. So if you're looking for someone to help you, keep you accountable on these areas to skyrocket your business, because that's what it's all about, accountability, because you can't, success is not achieved alone. Go ahead and hit faith in the comments, and I would DM you immediately my team and I will reach out to you inside of your Facebook page, and we'll talk to see what customized solution we can come up with for your business. All right. It's your girl, Sherri Somers, your Revenue Master Life Coach. Have a good day. See y'all next Tuesday.